County Health Officer Dr. Davis has worked with the cities of Pasadena and Long Beach to sign a public health order that covers the entire county of Los Angeles. The order, which we are calling Safer at Home, is the next step to protecting our residents from the coronavirus by increasing social distancing. We know that staying home and limiting close contact is the best way to prevent community spread. We know that social distancing does not mean restriction from going outside and does not mean isolation. We still encourage you to stay connected to your community and loved ones in creative ways and to spend much needed time outdoors. People working in essential functions within the healthcare, government, and food industries will still be on the job, but we encourage other employees to stay home. The Safer Home Order allows communities to shop for essential items at the market, pharmacy, hardware store, and more. LAUSD and other school districts will continue to provide school services, which they should be doing. Under these guidelines, we're asking people to refrain from gathering in an enclosed space with more than 10 people. Details on the health order will be provided by Dr. Ferrer shortly and will also be available online, including a document that will be created called Frequently Asked Questions, and that will be available to all of our cities so that everyone knows what we are asking. We know this will have an impact on the social fabric of our communities. We are striving to minimize this burden while protecting the overall health and well-being of our residents. We can't tell you exactly how long these orders will be in place, but we all know it will be temporary. We don't have to maintain these restrictions forever, and they will have invaluable long-term effects. There is no need for fear. We have plenty of resources available to help our communities get through this. I would like to ask everyone to only purchase what you need. Please do not stockpile, which leads to empty shelves and causes people to panic. We have enough food and essential items for everyone. I want you to help your community the best way you can and continue supporting local food establishments. Keep getting food from local establishments and delis through takeout or delivery. You can also order online from your favorite retailers or buy gift cards so that you can shop in the store when they reopen. Please, let's be kind to all those around us. If you have an elderly neighbor or friend, check in on them and see if they need you to pick up groceries. If you're looking for other ways to give back, you can donate food to nonprofits, assemble hygiene kits for those in need, or donate blood. Being safer at home doesn't mean being alone. You are still an important part of your community. To be able to contribute, we need you first and foremost to be kind to yourself by supporting your own well-being. Remember, you can take a walk, learn a new skill, read a book, video conference with loved ones, or enjoy open spaces. I encourage all our residents to continue to heed local, state, and federal public health guidance. As we know, this is a highly contagious virus. That is why we need to adopt these restrictions and measures. I want to remind everyone that the county is here to be a resource, especially when it comes to the latest public health information and updates on closures and impacts to county services. Please visit us online at lacounty.gov/COVID-19. Again, lacounty.gov/COVID-19. We are regularly posting updates to our social media pages as well. I want to take this opportunity to thank the public in advance for your help. Our shared focus and resolve is what is going to get us through this and into recovery. Let's all work together to protect the safety and well-being of every resident in Los Angeles County. Before I hand over the mic, I would like to acknowledge my colleagues on the Board of Supervisors for their continued friendship and support. I have a strong Chair Pro Tem, Hilda Solis, who has been constantly by my side to ensure the safety of our residents in Los Angeles County. Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas has been working tirelessly to prioritize a plan for those experiencing homelessness that are so susceptible to this disease. Supervisor Sheila Kuehl has been coordinating efforts with our probation department and prioritizing public safety, as well as emphasizing the need to serve our homeless population. And Supervisor Janice Hahn has been closely communicating with me to ensure the ports remain open and that they are well equipped to address the coronavirus while still allowing desperately needed goods to come into Los Angeles County. I am so grateful to serve our communities with them as our partners. With that, I would like to invite LA City Mayor Eric Garcetti to say a few words. Thank you.
Thank you. And I know the mayors of Long Beach and Pasadena are going to join us up here to safe social distance if you'd like to come up now too as well. And thank you, Catherine Barger. I know a lot of people in Los Angeles have gotten to know you even more over the last few days. You have been an amazing voice and a tremendous leader and a dear friend. I love you for everything that you are doing for our city and county and your colleagues, and I thank you. I want to say thank yous again at the outset. Good evening, Los Angeles. I should start there. But I want to thank all the people who are watching. The everyday folks that are still showing up to work to make sure that our hospitals are open, that our grocery stores are working, that our shelves are stocked. To the first responders and others who are showing the courage of our city together. And I want to kind of cut to the chase tonight. Everything that we're talking about up here as leaders is because of one central tenet, that human life is precious. Precious to each one of us. And every decision we are making is with that in mind. How do we protect each other? And how do we save lives? We've already radically changed how we live in Los Angeles. I know how stressful this is to each one of us. And I think we need to be painfully honest tonight that we're about to enter into a new way of living here in Los Angeles for a period. What we do and how we do it, and if we get this right, will determine how long this crisis lasts. But what we do and how well we do it is also an act of love. A love for those lives that we seek to protect and a reflection of how precious they are. We've been through disasters before. We've been through earthquakes and unrest, recently through fires. But as I've repeated before, this is different. It's not just the incredibly brave men and women who are first responders. It is all of us who have the fate of this crisis in our hands through our actions and our decisions. And the evidence is that the steps we've taken since Sunday are working. In many ways, we see for the first time, I can't remember the last time I've opened up a Google traffic map and seen green everywhere. That's a reflection that people actually are staying home. We can see it in the air, we can feel it on the empty streets, and I want to thank you, because those are the only metrics we can really go by to see whether people are abiding by what we're asking them to do. But I don't want to sugarcoat it. Today is a day that will be seared into the story and the streets of this city. It will be a moment when everything changed. I think about our children who are growing up. Part of a generation, this will be their 9/11, their moment. And we have to explain this to them. We have to safeguard them. We have to hold them. I call it Generation C. This generation that is out there right now looking and feeling and wondering, Mom, Dad, whoever takes care of them, what is this all about? And we need to step up for them. We have a cadre of our parents and grandparents who are the most vulnerable, who, if we get this right, we will look forward to years and decades ahead with them, hearing the stories of this moment when we came together. They're the most vulnerable amongst us, who are already fighting disease, who live bravely through pre-existing conditions, those who are out on the streets in inhumane conditions, and this moment can be a moment when we save them too by the actions we take. This will be a day that stretches and tests the soul of this city, but I'm confident that across Los Angeles County, we will rise to the moment. So why are we making this decision? The data is crystal clear. We're at a point where the increase and the rate of increase, at least of the tests we're getting back, and we all know there's not enough tests, this whole nation and all of us were woefully unprepared for this moment. But it's the same rate that we see in a place like Italy. We are trying to intervene earlier, and we're trying to be one of those countries where that curve starts to flatten. In 1918, cities that took action quickly are the ones in which fewer people died. During the Spanish flu, those that moved more slowly, these were the ones in which, it moved more slowly, more people died. We cannot wait, and we must act now. I love this city. I love its people. And while I make these decisions with a heavy heart, I make them with a very clear mind and a steely determination in the days ahead, with deep gratitude for our public health officials who are guiding us through this. There's a lot of questions that I know you will have that we will not and cannot answer tonight about all the economic effects and how we will get through this and rebuild. Tonight, our responsibility is to save as many lives and flatten that curve. But one thing is crystal clear in the fog of these days: we are all safer at home. So the city of Los Angeles, like the cities that are here with me, many other cities I'm sure who will join as well, and the County of Los Angeles is issuing a safer at home, stay at home order that will go effective midnight tonight. For employees of impacted businesses, this will take effect tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. But all businesses, including museums, malls, retail stores, for-profit companies, and nonprofit organizations, must stop operations that require workers to be present in person. And no public and private gatherings of any size that would occur outside of a single home will be allowed, with clear exceptions. I want to be clear about this, that the only time you should leave your home is for essential activities and needs. To get food, care for a relative or a friend or a child, get necessary health care, go for a walk in the neighborhood. And I'm so glad that Catherine was talking about all the things we can do. I think that there's been terrible terms out there like lockdown. Nobody is locked down, and we encourage you not to be locked down. This is not shelter in place like a school shooting. This is stay at home, because you're safer at home. And the only people who should be leaving home and going out are those whose jobs are critical to the safety, the health, and security of the city, as well as the economy of recovery for us and the nation during this crisis. Emergency personnel, first responders, government employees, medical professionals, and vital infrastructure workers will be able to continue their jobs, but they need to exercise the social distancing that can save their lives whenever and wherever possible. The same applies only to critical businesses such as healthcare providers, grocery stores, news outlets, hardware stores, gas stations, dry cleaners, and laundromats, which are permitted to remain in operation. And I know a lot of people have a lot of questions. Go to lacounty.gov, go to your city's website. For those of you that are City of LA residents, you can see those details and some of the frequently asked questions at coronavirus.lacity.org. If we can slow the spread, we can buy days. And when we buy those days, that means that we can get ventilators, and we can get beds, and kits, and masks, and tests, and this will save lives. That's why we're asking this of you today. One last area I want to address is we do live in a free society. It's the bedrock of who we are. We aren't taking people forcibly like in other countries and forcing them to be home. But with freedom comes responsibility. And we're asking everybody who by and large and overwhelmingly has exercised these directives responsibly to adhere to them. The young and healthy, you're not exempt, you're safer at home. If you're less young and less healthy, you're absolutely safer at home. It's not a time to go to the beach in big groups, to take the whole family to go to the market, to get together with gatherings with friends. This is not the time. And we don't take these steps lightly, but we take them firmly. This is an act of love for the city that we love. This is LA love. There's no ands, it's ifs or buts. This is an order. But one last thing too is this is not some sort of alien invader. This is No racism or xenophobia can change what this is. This is not a military war that we are at. This is a health emergency. We're not attacking each other. In fact, crime is down and acts of generosity are up. And our fates are in our own hands. How can I get what I need, the minimum, while still staying 6 feet apart from as many people as possible? This is an exceptional city, but we can't wish this away. Even if we're earlier in this than other places, there's no magic moat around us. It's going to be the same everywhere, and those that act quickly have a chance of being protected more than those that don't. The city will continue to operate, the lights will be on, the water will still come out of the tap, people won't lose their housing, they won't get kicked out of their businesses. LAUSD will continue to feed, and thank you to LAUSD and other school districts that are distributing food. But this is not a request, this is an order. But I've always told my team, do everything in your hearts, with everything that we do, to lead with love. And Los Angeles, this is our moment, to lead with love and to protect those lives that mean everything to us. May God and the Spirit of strength lead us through these days. With that, I'd like to turn over to my brother, who leads one of the biggest cities in California, the second biggest city here in the county, Robert Garcia.